forgot to do a video on this. Somebody was upset at Crystal Swirls live when it came to biracial people or something like that. And that was like, if you knew much about Crystal Swirls' channel, you would see she does have sometimes where she's gotten better, honestly. And I thought, when I saw that live, I was like, wow, she's a lot better than she used to be. And it's not because Crystal Swirls specifically ever had any ire, I think, to biracials. I think what happened with Crystal Swirls was when she first came along, she was specifically in the sector more so for dark-skinned black women. And I know, like 2 years ago, oftentimes when people talked about swirling and divesting, they had spaces mainly for dark-skinned black women. And it was annoying because for me, it almost felt like, there's really no space for us, for people who aren't dark-skinned. For people who aren't even middle of the road brown, for that matter. Like people who are on the lighter end, you know. But people like to make that narrative. You can see a lot of pro-black and like black men love to make the narrative that it's mainly dark-skinned black women because they don't want to think of it as other women because those are the women they want. And dark-skinned black women, they're like, they can kind of like feel like they can do without. So that's why they always make it dark-skinned women as the idea of it. And so then it always seems like with swirling and divested sectors, it somehow went into kind of like the colorism sector for some people. And so, when you are in the divested space, many of the time the people that are in your sector and are coming to your channel and things of that nature hold animosity to biracial women. Because many of them are along the lines of the Chrissy-minded individuals. They may not align with Chrissy, but they still have that mindset. So I don't really feel that Crystal Swirls was really actually anti-biracial people. I think she was actually trying to come to a commonality with biracial people and see how it could work. But she realized and she could see how, her platform obviously wouldn't be accepting of that, I do find it funny, though, that people like that can be so two-faced that they'll try and act like, oh, well, will you accept me? And then act like, oh, they're hating on you, They do that because in reality, what is going on is not that they feel that they are hated on. They feel like they don't accept and they don't like and they don't appreciate the person who they're asking to basically be okay with them as a biracial. And, they do that because it's kind of a slick way to paint a picture that they wanted to paint, basically. But to me, from my perspective, it's just like, that's why, to me, no matter how you play the role with individuals like that, one way, they'll try and act like if you're nice to them, that you want to be them. And if you are not nice to them, then you're just hating on them and you're jealous and you want to be them. So it's almost like they're kind of like stuck in a certain narrative that it's like, no one can really be okay with them because they're always not going to be okay with that person. You can be okay. I've seen many biracials that are like that, and to me personally, it's like this. If a biracial has an issue with me, that's their problem. I personally don't have an issue with them, kind of thing. They want to paint a certain picture. It's going to be really hard because it's like, well, I don't hate you, but if you want to hate me, it's just going to make you look bad because, you're half black. If you hate black people, well, that's not good. It's just like if you hate white people, it's not really good, to hate either. Because that's you yourself. And I've said this before. If a biracial person hates a black person, they hate half of themselves. So more of the problem is their own personal disdain for themselves rather than what they feel for any other black person. Because, I mean, like, they have to live with themselves, and they're upset at black people in a sense of thinking that they are jealous or think, basically on the idea of the white hierarchy, basically, which always puts a biracial in an inferior position, because if a black person is looking at them in a jealous sense, and that's the mindset that biracial has, then that biracial looks at that white person as if they are better than them. And that's not good either. That's not a good situation. You shouldn't think that black people are better than biracials. You shouldn't think white people are better than biracials. If you think either, you're in a bad situation if you're a biracial. So that's all I have to say here. I did like a lot of what Crystal Swirls said in her live, though, on colorism. I know she was harsh, she was mean to dark-skinned black women, and personally, I would not say any of that. I would not call dark-skinned black women half the name she called dark-skinned black women. What I am pointing out is the idea of, I've seen it so many times on my channel where dark-skinned black women will come to my channel being really hateful and trying to be like, oh, white men want me more, or you are this or that, and just basically hateful towards people just on their skin tone. You wouldn't treat a dark-skinned black woman like that. If I was dark-skinned, I wouldn't experience that. And I'm guessing that Crystal Swirls has probably experienced some things, and it probably tipped her over the edge. I just don't view black, dark-skinned women in a negative view, so I usually don't express negative comments like that back at dark-skinned black women. I might sometimes, like I said, say like, hey, you think something's different about my skin tone, for example, the difference in color during the summer to the winter. And I might think something's different on your body that has to do with dark skin too. We're different because we have different skin tone, but we shouldn't shame each other for our differences, So, that's all I have to say in this video. I'm going to be done. Thanks for watching, and bye. Oh, I wanted to say one other thing. I did agree also with her saying about representation and things of that nature, and how mixed race people sometimes will take the identity and representation of light skin and brown skin black people. And you will see on certain channels of the Golden Sphere, they do really heavily seek to erase the original identity of light skin and brown skin black people, when in reality, we existed actually first before any biracial did. I mean, it takes a black person and a white person to create a biracial. It doesn't take that for us. We just originally were. But, I do think, that's the thing to me, like when there's an overlap, I don't think it's really good for like certain platforms and certain channels to have like, oh, we put the mix and the light skin together as if they're the same thing, because what it's doing really is trying to say that light skinned black person isn't really a black person. So all the black features that light skinned black person has is basically nullified, basically. And if you see that someone is black, you see that their DNA results show that they're black, you're going to basically go after their skin tone simply because it is something that shows that black people can be light and can be brown skinned, and it doesn't take being biracial. So that's all I have to say in this video. I'm going to be literally done now. Thanks. Bye.